If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please remember to hit that like button and of course subscribe for more content. And if you need any coins for Ultimate Team to get a head start on the game, head to the link in the description. Use the code TVM for a discount at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, Road to the Final Predictions Team 2. We had Europa League. I mean, are they going to do Team 2 for Europa League? No. I can honestly say I have absolutely zero confidence in EA putting out another Europa League set. We do have Team 2 on the way though, and we're going to go through a few of the players that I put in the first video. So the card design is a little bit different because this was the predicted card design. And we have Tecatito, sorry. If you don't know who that is, of course it's the player that can't be named for monetization reasons. Up next, we have Thorgan Hazard. We have a few Dortmund players, actually, because there was another player that has come to light now that EA have given Renato Sanchez a Europa League live card, and they've given a few other people live cards who are used an awful lot in this game because they are the meta, and that is like the likes of Klosterman, for example. Julian Brandt was a player that I would like to see get one. Not that I'm going to use him myself because he doesn't link into a team that I have at all, but I like him in real life. I think he's a good player. But given that EA have gone down the route of using players that are a little bit overpowered in this game, I feel like I've changed my mind on a few players they could include. Navas not being one of them because he was in my original predictions. So I'm just showing you the ones that I had originally in there before I show you a new batch that I've come up with. But Alaba would be a really nice one. He's not really used an awful lot, actually. But with Klosterman being in there as well, Alaba and Klosterman at the back, with, I don't know, maybe that flashback Witsel in front of them. Mukiele, of course, at right back. Plenty of options to link in these players. Gnabry is one of those sleeper cards this year. Very good if you use him as a cam. His ball control, got decent passing, he's got good finishing. He's not the slowest player in the world, although EA have tried to butcher his pace as much as possible. As a cam in particular, very good. Up next is a player that I'd love to see, Aaron Wan-Bissaka as a right back, but obviously played as a centre back because he's better as a centre back in this game than he is as a full back. But either way, it could happen. We were given Rashford, right? It's possibly, I don't know, it's not likely, but it could happen. Florian Thauvin is another one of those players that could be given one as well. I don't know how likely it is that Marseille will progress and that Thauvin will actually go to an 86 at any point, but as a striker would be a decent card. And one of the final players to talk about before we get into the new batch, Mahrez, 5-star skiller, quite cheap. Not the paciest, and that's one of the reasons why he's not used that often. So I can definitely see Mahrez getting some sort of special card. There are definitely more players from Man City worth talking about, though. We will get to those. Raphael Varane is going to fall under that category of Renato Sanchez and Klosterman. They are overpowered. Well, not overpowered. Varane is, or Varane? We're going to call him Varane. Varane's good in this game, and he should be because he's 86 rated. So, but you know what I mean. He's used a lot because he's that good. Let's move on to Hateboer. This is the final player now before we start talking about the new cards that could potentially drop. Hateboer of Atalanta. Plenty of Atalanta choices. Alejandro Gomez, although he did get one last year. Although, going to talk about that because do EA really care if players had them last year or not? And that brings me to Dybala, who I'm pretty sure had one last year. But we haven't had a Juve player yet. And there is every chance it could be Dybala. To be fair, I have two other options that it could be. First of which is Bernardeschi. But we'll talk about him. Well, let's talk about him now. Bernardeschi is one of those players who's 5-star skills. He's not used at all right now, but with a boost. And then with potential boosts beyond that, because obviously this card would go to an 85 if they were to progress through the group, which they probably will. I mean, if they don't and they go into the Europa League, he'll still get boosted. Emre Can is one of those Klosterman, Renato Sanchez style players where he's very good for being low rated. So why not give him an upgrade? And that is definitely something I can see happening. Look at those stats. For an 84 rated card, that is unprecedented. I can see it happening. I really can. Anderson, Felipe Anderson to be... that's a really weird... I mean, would that really work in his own film? I'm Anderson. Felipe Anderson. No, maybe not. Good pace, good skills, good dribbling, decent passing, good links back into other leagues because of the Brazilian thing. So, yeah, not a bad card to get, of course, from a quote-unquote, minor league. Quincy Promes, I would say that this is all but guaranteed. Again, it's one of those cards that fall into the Klosterman, Renato Sanchez category. He's overpowered, he's not very expensive, he has 5-star skills. EA know their own meta. This is a card, I'm 99% certain Promes will get one. Let's move on to Aguero. I'm pretty sure Aguero had some form of live card last year. It might have even been a Champions League card, but it would be a little bit rude not to talk about Aguero when, wondering what players we could get. They need a high-rated card to sort of anchor this whole thing. Aguero could be that guy. Kimpembe normally gets himself some sort of special card. Did he get one last year? Because if not Kimpembe, then Diallo or Kehrer. One of the PSG centre-backs, I can definitely see getting it. Marquinhos maybe, but I think they might go for a slightly lower-rated one. But that's an option. The other option from PSG, of course, is someone like Idrissa Gueye, who we featured in the first video. That's why the card design is different. This card would actually be quite good, and with another boost on top of that would be even better again, and would link into one of my teams. Not bad. Szczesny is the other Juve player that I could see potentially getting it. It would be a little bit of a cop-out, bit boring. No one would really want it, but it's definitely something I could see EA doing. Of course, they gave us Oblak in this one, so maybe even Ter Stegen. Pulisic of Chelsea is a player that I had predicted in the first video, and he's someone that I'm going to go for again. I don't know what's happening with his picture. He looks very washed out, but this is a player that would be very good in game. With another boost on top of that, of course, if Chelsea were to go through, he would go to an 86, making him very, very nice. And of course, Hazard, a player that normally gets at least 3 or 4 special cards a year. Whether they're performance-based or not is irrelevant. EA tend to give him quite a few special cards. Last year, of course, he had a FUT birthday. I think he had a player moments at some point. This year, could he potentially get a live card? He started performing a little bit for Real Madrid right now, but a live card would see him go to an 89 and beyond if Madrid can progress. And that is going to give us our rundown of Team 2. I'm not expecting much outside of what I've suggested there, to be fair. I think we've hit quite a few nails. There are definitely a few players that could creep in from different clubs, and I don't know whether they're going to double dip. I don't know whether they're going to go back into teams such as Liverpool and Atletico and all the rest of them. Teams are already featured in Road to the Final Team 1. Not sure if they're going to go back in and pick more. Maybe 1 or 2. Maybe expect 1 or 2. But the likes of Promes is, I would say it's all but guaranteed. If you think that there's going to be one particular player that hasn't been featured in this video, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. If you have enjoyed the video though, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.